In 1990, we had 24% of the land area covered by forest. But just slightly over 20 years, we've lost up to 9% of the estate now available as forested area. So because of that, 2011, with a meeting held in Bonn in Germany, that we now call the Bonn Challenge, Uganda committed itself to restore 2.5 million hectares by 2035.
We were trained how to plant these trees, how to maintain them. My interest is to plant as many trees as possible.
It is the people of IUCN who brought this project this way, and they taught us how to raise up the seedlings.
The International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, has been implementing a forest landscape restoration project within two main landscapes, the Mount Elgon landscape, specifically the district of Kapchorwa, and then the Aswa landscape with special focus on the districts of Votuke, Lira and Alebtong. In the Mount Elgon, we have households that live and cultivate on very steep slopes. Therefore, the land becomes more and more prone to landslides, to high rates of soil erosion, to flooding and related challenges. On top of that, the landscape has a very high population pressure that is compounding the already fragile nature of the ecosystems. In the Aswa landscape, on the other hand, we have communities that are recovering from a long period of instability, and therefore their asset base is still quite low. So in a bid to provide a livelihood for themselves, communities are turning to the natural resources, degrading the very ecosystems on which they depend. For example, the cutting down of the shea nut trees. And these trees take a very long period of time to grow, and they have very high value. So it's very difficult to replace these tree species once somebody has converted them into charcoal. But that only indicates the dire situation in which these specific communities are. And so it was quite important to introduce forest landscape restoration to be able to help communities to apply much more sustainable land use practices.
Of course, Uganda, through the Ministry of Water and Environment and through the Forestry Sector Support Department, with the additional technical support from the IUCN and the World Resources Institute, participated in what we call the Forest Landscape Restoration Opportunity Assessment. That has actually helped us to come up with Forest Landscape Restoration Opportunity Assessment Report. In there
are a number of options that have been recommended. But the report also observed that some of these options, like agroforestry, there's woodlots, there is natural regeneration, or what we call farmer managed natural regeneration, and a number of others, are cheaper in terms of costs, and they are very efficient. But the tools to support this have been lacking. So IUCN and the World Agroforestry Center, NICRAF, developed a mobile application called Africa Tree Finder. So what it does is that it helps you to select the best tree for a given location. And the application can also help you to monitor the restoration initiative. Say, for example, the location of trees that you have planted will be georeferenced, so you can actually take photos and upload them into the system and know how the restoration effort is going on. So this gives the application a very user-friendly reception. You need to have a smartphone, and so maybe that could be a challenge with people who don't have smartphones. But the software itself, the application, is found within the Google Play Store. So if you type there Africa Tree Finder, you will be able to download this, follow very simple steps, and we were able to confirm that the vegetation that we get within the maps is what you get on the ground.
Now, what IUCN has been trying to do was to increase the knowledge of forest landscape restoration among communities with approaches such as community drama shows, encourage peer-to-peer learning, and increase adoption of forest landscape restoration options.
The message are now still flowing within our community through calling the meetings
and sensitizing other community members. We are still preaching the gospel.
We also had an interactive radio approach, which was first implemented within the Mount Elgon, but has now been scaled up within the Aswa landscape. This radio component is very different from conventional radio programs in that additional equipment and technology provided to the radio station enables large numbers of farmers to be able to call free of charge, express their views, ask questions, and get answers from the technical experts.
And we want to create a platform where farmers, in this case, are on the same table with policy makers and then technocrats in terms of environment under this project, and debate on how best they can have a good environment as it was in the past by use of our ICT tools.
Overall, the project has directly imparted skills and knowledge to approximately 3,800 farmers through innovative outreach approaches. This has also increased cohesion among community groups and reduced indiscriminate tree cutting for charcoal production. For example, over 90% of the farmers who received training or listened to the radio programs have at least implemented 2 forest landscape restoration options on their farm. The project has therefore contributed to Uganda's commitment to restore its degraded landscapes under the Bond Challenge.
In fact, forest landscape restoration is also helping to achieve the objectives of catchment-based water resources management, an approach that is being used by the Ministry of Water and Environment to coordinate development and management of water resources.
Especially like for stream bank demarcations. A lot has been done, but one thing I want to bring out here is that this catchment-based approach is also looking at livelihoods undertaken in terms of Community Environment Conservation Fund. This revolving fund is managed by the community themselves, and they are at liberty to make choices for what they will use with the money. But the good thing is that it is tagged to water and environmental management. So we are seeing some improvement in our environment through these interventions.
Now each village made their own bylaws. They taught us the goodness of wetland, of which it made our work easier. They taught us the goodness of chia tree. Now we are maintaining the chia tree and we are regenerating the young ones.
Yeah, in 5 years' time, you would get these other trees becoming a bushy, maybe like a sort of a forest. You would even see here more green than you can witness now.
And therefore, by combining the use of ICT tools such as the radio and the Africa Tree Finder mobile application with approaches such as community drama, it has been possible to increase knowledge on forest landscape restoration and also scale up adoption within a comparatively short time. The whole aim of this restoration work is to build resilient ecosystems which can continue to supply ecosystem goods and services to communities both today and in the future.